Everywhere I look, I see number six, man. Number six. Number six. Outside you go, you see six. You come inside, you see number six everywhere. Number six, Liverpool fans. Number six. Number six, European Cup number six, eh? Brilliant stuff from the Reds in Madrid. Well done, lads. Well done. It's about time that we won something, man. Fucking hell. It's been 7 years, man. 7 years since 2012 that we've won a trophy. And finally, on Saturday the 1st, we won it. We won it in Madrid for a sixth time. But boy, it wasn't a good performance at all. I'm sorry, but after the penalty, you know, the first goal in the first minute of the game, I mean, it's as if Liverpool were wasting time, you know, wasting time trying to win the game. But we forgot that there's still 89 minutes to go, and we didn't perform because the passing range was terrible from Liverpool. Everything was terrible. I mean, as an honest Liverpool fan, a fan of 31 years, I have to admit it. I mean, we didn't play well at all, and I was thinking that it was going to be more of a even contest, you know, the two teams, but end-to-end match, you know, an attacking match. But it ended up being some kind of like a friendly match in a way because there was no rhythm to the game. There was no pattern, and it was so disjointed. And the passes were all going to the wrong people. You know, our passes were all going to the Tottenham players instead of trying to find our own players. And we were rushing the game. I mean, I saw Alexander-Arnold trying to play a 60, 70-yard pass to Salah in the 10th minute of the game from right back position. He's trying to play a long diagonal ball to Salah, who's running into the Tottenham area. I mean, it's madness. Just play it simple, man. Play it simple and try and gather some momentum. Try and gather some, you know, some pattern of play for the team for the rest of the game. But I don't know what happened. We were probably nervous. We were under pressure because of what happened last season. You know, the final. We lost in the final to Real Madrid. And yeah, we didn't play well at all. I mean, the first half, I think we had two shots after the penalty. I think one was from Robertson, a long-range shot that Lloris saved. And yeah, I think we had one other shot or one header or something. And that's about it, nothing else. Oh, the Alexander-Arnold shot, isn't it? Where he fired it in low and hard and it you know, just went past the post, scraped the post kind of thing and didn't go in. So, yeah, we went in 1-0 at half time and you're thinking, you know, the ecstasy is there, the fans, the whole atmosphere, the Liverpool fan base is going mental and so many fans in Madrid. I mean, there was probably more fans outside the stadium than there was inside the stadium. I think we had something like 50, 60,000 in the streets of Madrid, you know, in various different squares and bars and restaurants or whatever. And my words, what an atmosphere they created before the match and after the match as well. So, and then we go into the second half and it's more of the same. I mean, every pass that we make, we're giving it back to Tottenham, you know. Every pass that we tried to make, we were giving it back to them. And we're only fortunate they didn't turn up as well. They were nervous because it was their first final and they couldn't perform to the highest level, Tottenham, because if it had been another team that was bang on form, we would have been in trouble, big trouble, I'm telling you. If it had been a team that can pass the ball, that can create chances, then we would have been under immense pressure and probably conceded because even Tottenham nearly scored. You know, the final, we're going towards the end of the match, you're thinking surely we have to go for a second, try and kill the game off. And Liverpool are retreating. We're going backwards into our own penalty area. It was madness from the team. Firmino wasn't fit, man. I don't understand why Klopp put him in because he didn't look fit at all. And we needed fresh legs, basically. And this is why he was taken off. And Origi was brought onto the pitch to try and get that killer goal, that second goal that would win the game for Liverpool. And he got it at the end, right at the end, in the 87th minute. What a finish. I mean, I thought he was going to take a touch and then balloon it over the bar, but he hit the ball so hard and low into the corner that it ended up going into the corner of the net for 2-0. And the madness ensues after that. I mean, I didn't know where I was. Was I sitting down? Was I jumping in the air? Was I rolling on the floor? I can't even remember what happened. I lost all saneness. I didn't know where I was. I was going mental, and yeah, so we win it for a sixth time and become the champions of Europe again, the most successful English team in European history, the European Cup history, and we win it for the sixth time in Madrid after 14 years. After last winning it in Istanbul 14 years ago with that unbelievable comeback against AC Milan. And the whole of the Liverpool fan base, the team, the squad is all emotional. They're all crying. They can't believe what's just happened in front of their eyes, and we win it. And yeah, so the next day they came back to Liverpool with all that joy, that happiness, that emotional, emotionally everyone was drained because we deserved it, man. After the season we had, if we ended up this season without picking up any silverware, it would have been a bloody disaster. I mean, it would have been the most unfair of seasons for any team for a long time. You could say sometimes you see teams in a season where they play well for a certain amount of games, and then towards the end of the season they start losing form and they go out of all the competitions, they lose everything. But with us, we were just on a upward trajectory from the beginning of the season until the end of the season, winning games, taking the 3 points, staying at the top of the league for virtually the entire season until the probably the final 4 or 5 games, and then Man City overtook us because they always had that game in hand. And to see us win the game in Madrid and take that trophy, that magnificent trophy, the European Cup, and we won it for number 6, the sixth time. So brilliant, Liverpool. But we have to push on now. Next year we have many more finals to play. We have a lot of games to go through. And now we have to play in the Club World Championship, which is it may hamper our season in December because we have to go to Qatar. It's going to be staged in Qatar. Of course, the opposition probably won't be the strongest teams in the world, but it's still going to be tough for Liverpool, because all the travelling, all the games that we will have to fit into the season, and probably we'll have to play games in midweek to, gain extra games because in the league, because we will have had to play in this the Club World Championship, so we'll probably miss a couple of weeks of the season in this instance, and so it's going to be very tough. We need to add players. I mean, I'm seeing certain videos and articles and on social media saying that we have a good enough squad. We don't have a good enough squad. I'm sorry, but if you watch the match, the final, we won it. I'm very happy as a Liverpool fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm ecstatic. I'm over the moon. I've been celebrating for 3 or 4 days. I'm on cloud 9, man. I'm buzzing, but we have to be objective. We have to speak the truth. Our midfield was not good enough on the day. Henderson lifted the trophy. He deserves to lift the trophy after being at Liverpool since 2012, I think it is. So he's been here for 7 years, 6-7 years, Henderson, and he deserved to finally pick a trophy up. But the biggest trophy of them all, probably the European Cup. But his performance in the match was terrible. Along with Wijnaldum, they were both terrible. We didn't control the game at all. Anybody that says that we controlled it, we didn't. Go back and watch the match for 90 minutes, the whole match, and you will see that Tottenham played better in certain stages than Liverpool. Tottenham were able to keep the ball better than us, but they had no cutting edge. They had no finishing ability. This is why they weren't able to score a goal. But as for passing the ball around and, keeping hold of it, managing the game, I think Tottenham did it better than Liverpool. After the 1-0, I mean, we just thought that we won the game after 1-0. We should have carried on. When you get an early goal, you have to go for a second, a third goal to kill the game off. You don't just sit back and wait for 80 minutes, 90 minutes to finish the game, especially not against dangerous teams, fast teams. And so we got over the line, finally. Finally, Klopp made his substitutions at the right time in the game. He brought on, I think he brought on Milner for, was it Wijnaldum? And he brought on Origi for Firmino in the second half, and Origi ends up being the legend of the game, basically, the game changer, the winning goal, because in those minutes leading up to the second goal, Liverpool were under immense pressure, and Tottenham was starting to find holes in our defence. They had a few shots at Alisson that could have gone in, especially the free kick where Ericsson curls it, and it looks like it's going into the far corner. But Alisson outstretches and makes a great save to claw it away, to push it away. And yeah, they had another chance through where Lucas Moura's in the penalty area. I think Son has a shot and it's saved by Alisson, and then the ball rebounds, and then it comes to another Tottenham player who lays it off for Moura in the penalty area. And as soon as I see Moura charging towards the ball, I'm thinking, bloody hell, they're going to score here, aren't they? They're going to put it in the back of the net just at the end of the game, the 80th minute or whatever it was. And then we're in trouble because we don't have any energy left. It looked like the hot weather, the nerves of the match got to us, because we seemed to just drain as the match went on. Our energy just seemed to go down. Our enthusiasm for the game seemed to go down, and we were looking like we were going to concede. And thankfully, he didn't get any power behind the shot, and he just sort of toe poked it towards Alisson's goal, and Alisson just, saved the ball, got the ball, and yeah, so we went up the other end. We get a corner, and Milner takes it. It bounces off about 3 or 4 players, and then Matip somehow manages to get a pass to Origi, who's on the left side of the penalty area. He's inside the area, takes a touch, and then smashes it into the corner, like one of the best strikers in the league. And we win the game. And it's madness, it's pandemonium in Madrid. The whole of half of the stadium is going mental, and Liverpool fans are jumping for joy. They're jumping for the skies, and we done it. We won the cup, That's all you can say. We won it, man, for a 6th time in Madrid. It's been so many years, man. I mean, even last season, the frustration of last season really got to me, The way that we lost that final because of that idiot goalkeeper, Karius, and his stupid mistakes. And I've been carrying that inside me for a year, the frustration, the anger, and even the anxiety for this game, because I'm thinking to myself, surely we can't lose this one again. If we lose again, then I'm giving up. Honestly, I'm giving up on football altogether, because I can't take it anymore, man. If Liverpool had have lost that final on Saturday, that would have been the end for me. I think for a lot of Liverpool fans, because we must be the most unluckiest team in the world, man. We get to finals, we lose. We get to semi-finals, we get knocked out. We get to the top of the league, we think we're going to win it with a few weeks to go, a month to go, and then somehow another team comes out from somewhere and overtakes us and takes the title at the end. So you're thinking to yourself, Liverpool are destined for just finishing second, being runners-up in everything at the most, and it started to take over us, the fear, the anxiety, and we can't live with it anymore as Liverpool fans. But this time we done it, man. This time we done it because of Klopp, because of Klopp's correct substitutions at the right time in the game, and he enabled us to win it. But the performance wasn't good. I mean, everybody's saying the same thing. Most Liverpool fans, we didn't play well. We could have played much better. And looking at the performances we had throughout the season, this is probably one of the worst, I think, because along with the months of January and February, where we had a few draws, we didn't perform to the highest level. I think this was a very bad performance, because after 1-0, we should have got better. We should have gone from strength to strength and finished Tottenham off. But we seemed to just retreat and allow Tottenham to control the midfield, to control the game. And because they were nervous, they had never been in a Champions League final. This is the first time for them. They weren't able to take advantage of it, and we win the game. But as I said before, if it had been, one of the big boys in Europe, like a Real Madrid, like a Juventus, a Bayern Munich, or another team from other countries, we would have probably ended up drawing the game or even losing. They would have scored an equaliser and then gone on to get a winner, because you could see it happening in the second half. With the amount of times that we could have killed the game off, we had 2 or 3 chances through Milner where he side foots the ball. He should have just smashed it into the corner and finished the game off. And he tries to side foot it into the corner of the net, and it goes wide, and you're going mad. I mean, we're pulling our hair out. I can't believe it. We haven't finished the game off. Salah is 1-on-1 in the penalty area, and decides to go for the near post instead of putting it into the far post, curling it around the goalkeeper, Lloris, and finishing the game off, which he can do. He done it last year many times against Roma, against Everton, against Southampton. He can find those kind of finishes where he curls it into the corner of the net, and he tries to go for the near post. I don't understand what he was doing there, because he had time. He had time and space, and I think there was only one defender with him. I think it was Vertonghen who blocked him off in the end, and he could have killed the game off then. And we would have been much more comfortable in the 52nd minute. We would have been able to catch Tottenham again on a counter-attack and probably get a third and finish the game off. But we struggled over the line a bit, but it's understandable because we haven't won anything for 7 years, man. You know, the nerves, the fears, the everything, the nightmares of the past coming back to haunt the team, and it's all going through your mind at that moment in time on the pitch. You're thinking of what's happened in the past, and you become frightened of what's going to happen in the final 10-15 minutes of the game. And it seemed to affect us because, as I said, Tottenham didn't take advantage. They had their chances, you know, they didn't create too many clear-cut chances, but they had more of the possession. They had more of the basically, they wanted to score in the second half. They had more about them on the pitch. They seemed more hungrier. They seemed more passionate for the game. And we were just happy to hang on for 1-0. And you can't do that in the top levels of football. You need to be ruthless. You need to go out and get a second goal. I'm not sure if it was the tactics that Klopp gave them, or whether it was the players themselves not being able to perform on the day. But something was wrong, because we seem to not play well at all on the day. And thankfully, Origi stepped up with that second goal, as I said, from the corner, and we kept the ball alive. And somehow Matip managed to pass it to Origi, who, controlling it first time, just smashed it into the bottom corner, and it's game over. We win the trophy. We take the European Cup for the 6th time, thankfully. Thanks to God, you know, because, as I said before, if we had lost this game, my words, you wouldn't see me on there. I'm telling you, you wouldn't see me on the internet at all, because I can't handle it anymore, man. Honestly, I mean, I know that we're Liverpool, we have to get used to pressure, but the longer the years go on and you don't win anything, and you start losing finals, you start not being able to win the league title, and it just becomes depressing. It becomes frustrating, and you think to yourself, why do I even bother watching football anymore? What is the point? You know, so thankfully we done it, man. We done it. There's no time for anxiety now. There's no time for nerves or to be, you know, pessimistic. But we have to look back on that game, and we have to make sure that we play better, because we have to play Man City in the Community Shield at the start of the season. We have to play much better in that final. Then we have to go to the European Super Cup, which is going to be played in Istanbul. I think it's probably at the beginning of the season, in August sometime. So we have to be ready for that as well, because Chelsea will want to beat us in that game. And it's in a neutral venue again. So, but Istanbul is like a second home for Liverpool. We won the European Cup there 14 years ago. So it's got happy memories for Liverpool, very good memories for Liverpool. And we go there and win the game, man. That's it. It's as easy as that. And of course, we'll have the league to contend with as well. And of course, the Club World Cup, which is going to be staged in Qatar, of all places. I think it's because of the World Cup connection, the World Cup being staged there in 2022. So they've probably thought to themselves that they have to play the what do you call it, Club World Cup there as well in Qatar, and that's where it's been given to this year. So we have to just do our job and go there and try and win it. You know, try and win the trophy, bring that back to England as well. And I don't care anymore. I want everything, man. As I said during the season, I want Liverpool to win everything that they possibly can. Don't belittle anything. You know, win all the trophies, because now is our time. Now is the time for Liverpool to shine. We have a massive opportunity now to pick up 4 or 5 trophies in one season, as we did in the 2000-2001 season. We won 5 trophies, man. So we can do that again, you know, this year. We've got the squad, we've got the players, we can do it. We just need to perform better in the final matches. And, you know, thankfully to God, we were able to win it for a 6th time in Madrid, because it would have been a disaster, you know, going in front after 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, and then to not able to win the trophy or to, if we'd lost it on penalties or something, it would have been a bloody disaster. I would have given up watching football together. I'd never watch the game again because, what have we got to do to win a bloody trophy as a Liverpool Football Club? Tottenham are probably thinking the same thing, but Tottenham didn't even think that they were going to be there in the final. They had no idea that they were going to actually get to the final. They didn't expect it as a fan base, but Liverpool, we always expect to get to European Cup finals because we have been there before. We've achieved it before. We've won it 5 times before Madrid, and we were the favourites going into the final. There's no doubt about it. We were the favourites, massive favourites to win it. But as for the performance, it wasn't good enough on the day. The team that Klopp put out was good, apart from, I'd say, Wijnaldum or Henderson should have been replaced by Shaqiri or even Oxlade-Chamberlain, but Oxlade-Chamberlain wasn't fit enough to play in the final. I think if he had been up to scratch, if he had been fit, then he could have taken the place of Wijnaldum, Oxlade-Chamberlain. We needed that directness, we needed that energy in the midfield to take the ball and to run into the opponent's part of the pitch, or maybe, take shots or just relieve the pressure on the defence, because when you can't control the midfield, then they attack your defence and they put you under massive pressure, and after a while you're going to crack. Doesn't matter how good you are defensively, you're bound to make a mistake. You're bound to, lose your man, and then you can see the goal, and then it goes backwards from there because the nervousness, the fear of losing the final will start to get to the players, and they can't handle it sometimes, especially the young players. Experienced players have seen these things happen in the past. They're more used to it, but young players like Alexander-Arnold, who had a terrible game, man. Terrible game. I mean, the amount of passes that he gave to the opposition, the amount of wrong passes, and where he rushed everything. Just take your time, man. You've got to be cooler. He played an outstanding season this year, but I said it last year even. Defensively, he's not good enough, man. We need somebody that is more positionally aware of the opponent, because Tottenham got him caught out many times, even in the first half. I think they were playing 2 or 3 long balls to Son on Alexander-Arnold's side, and he was getting caught out time after time. And if Son had been able to find the right pass, the right cross, then Tottenham would have been able to score a goal, They would have got chances from it. But he needs to be more clever in defensive roles. He's very good going forwards. Offensively, he's very good, and he can get into the opposition, part of the pitch and get crosses into the area, or take shots from long range. But he needs to be more defensively savvy, and I don't see him improving, because it's been 2 years now and he's still playing the same. So Robertson is a bit more defensively solid. He's able to get challenges in. He's able to make tackles on players, because I think he knows the defensive role better than Alexander-Arnold. But Alexander-Arnold, he needs to be more assured. He needs to be more aware of what's happening on his side or behind him. So when you go up the pitch, you can't be caught out when you play for Liverpool. It's not acceptable anymore, especially in the big games, because we're going to end up paying the price. As I said, if it had been a better team than Tottenham in the final, we would have conceded, definitely, especially in the second half, because we were defending too deep, and when we did get the ball, as soon as we got it, we gave it back to Tottenham again. So it's like we didn't have 11 players on the pitch. It seemed like we were playing with 9 players or something, 8 or 9 players. We were giving the ball away so many times and just rushing our passes, just not even rushing the passes. We were just panicking. We were kicking it anywhere, just getting it away from goal. You've got to be more cool under pressure. You've got to be more savvy. You've got to make Tottenham come onto you, and then, make a foul or something, make them frustrated. Keep the ball and make sure that they attack you. And when they try to attack you, they're going to end up, committing fouls or getting caught out of position. So we need to learn these things as a team. And I'm sure that Klopp will show them what they did wrong in the final. But we won it. So in a major European Cup final, you don't talk about the performance on the day. You talk about what happened in the end. We won the game, man. We won the trophy. And then we came back to Liverpool and we had that outstanding parade. And this is how you do a parade, Manchester City. You may be the champions of England, but we're the champions of Europe, mate. And we showed you how you should be making a parade, a celebration in a city. Man City's parade was like it was some kind of wedding, as opposed to some kind of massive achievement that they made. And it was outstanding. Liverpool's parades, the amount of people, the population, and everyone surrounding the city of Liverpool, the way they came out of their houses and they celebrated with the team. It's like a family. It really is. It feels like a family all together in it. You know, we're all in this together. Basically, we're all against the world. And this is what Liverpool fan base did. They greeted the team like the heroes that they are, the legends that they are, and they deserved it, man. After such a season, I watched it live. I mean, 4 hours, 4.5 hours, and they were from the outskirts of Liverpool to get into the city centre to the waterfront. It took them 5 hours, 4.5, 5 hours. So imagine how many people there were on the streets. I think BBC said there was something like 750,000, 800,000 people. Unbelievable amount of people. Madness, you know. And they celebrated with the fans, basically, the team. They deserved it after such a long, hard season, a successful season. Although we didn't win the league, we had a very good season, man. You know, 38 games played, 30 games won, 7 draws, and only 1 defeat. So we're nearly perfect in every sense in the season. 97 points amassed in the season. And we should have won the league, but of course City played brilliantly as well, so we can't deny them that they deserve to win the title. But next year we have to be after them. We have to try and win it again, man. Because after winning the European Cup, the confidence, the morale, the belief in the team should rise now to the skies, and we should go for it now next year. And the first step of winning the league title is to beat City in the Community Shield. If we beat them in that Community Shield match, psychologically we will be on top of them, because they will see that Liverpool are rising now. You know, they've won the European Cup, then they beat us in the Community Shield. So in their minds, they will start to become frightened of Liverpool. They'll start to become scared that this team is unbeatable. You know, we can't beat them. We can't get rid of them, basically. This kind of thought process will go through their minds, and they will start to panic, you know, City. So we have to do it. I mean, this is our time, as I said before at the beginning of the video. We have to take advantage of it. Win as many trophies as you can. Bring in top quality players, because this is the time. There's no point in saying that we've got a good enough squad and then we go backwards again. You know, anything can happen over the summer months. You know, our players are playing for their national teams. God forbid, there could be injuries. There could be fatigue again, tiredness, because they haven't had a proper rest yet. And they have to go all around the world and play for their national teams. So we need a bigger squad. We need a squad that is top quality in every department, basically. In the defence, in the midfield, up front, strikers. We need, I think, 2 or 3 players at least to add to our squad. And then you will see Liverpool. Then you will see Liverpool fighting for every trophy, as we did this year. But next year, it's going to be even better, because with the players we've got, players that we've acquired, you know, if we can get Matthias de Ligt as a defender, either Memphis Depay or Nabil Fekir, and then going forwards, if we can bring in, you know, like a Timo Werner or an Anton Griezmann type of player, then imagine what Liverpool can achieve, man. We'll be off the scale. We'll be one of the best teams in the world, let alone in Europe. And yeah, so we wait to see what we do. Our owners were there, FSG, and I saw them take part in the celebrations. You know, John Henry and his wife Linda, they deserve it, of course. They put in the money, but they have to be more consistent. They have to do it now. If you see that Liverpool are being successful, they're starting to win trophies, then now is the time to spend the money. Now is the time to make Liverpool even stronger for next season. So we should wait and see anyway what they do for next season. And that's about it, Liverpool fans. I said that I probably wouldn't do a video until the pre-season, but the happiness, man, I've just been bouncing off the walls, you know, because I'm so happy after what happened in Madrid. And I thought to myself, I have to do a video. I can't disappoint the Liverpool fans, you know, the Liverpool faithful. And this is why I wanted to make this a review of the Champions League final. So that's it, Liverpool fans. Number 6 is in the bag, the European Cup. We go again next season, but we want even more. We want even more success. It's about time. We deserve it, man. Having gone through all the bad times in the, you know, the late 90s and the 2000s to now be in this situation again where we can actually potentially win everything now. You know, we can win the league, the FA Cup, League Cup, probably the European Cup again. If we invest properly, correctly in the summer, we can go for it again next season. Every team in Europe is scared of Liverpool now. We've become a giant force in European football again, reaching the final 2 years in a row and winning it this year. So every team that plays us will be frightened of Liverpool. The fear factor is back again when teams play Liverpool. So we have to make the most of this, as I said, and hopefully Klopp is here for many years to come. I heard something in the press that I think they were saying something about he wants to take a sabbatical in 2021, is it? Or in a couple of years' time. So until then, until he leaves, hopefully he doesn't, but at the end of the day, he will leave because he's already been here 4 years. So at the most, he's going to be here another 2 years, 3 years, if they extend his contract. Depends on him as a person. Maybe he doesn't want to carry on as a manager anymore. So you never know with managers. You have to just make the most of the time that you have with the manager and try and win as many trophies as you can. And this is the time for Liverpool. We have to do it, man. There's no excuses now. With the belief of winning the European Cup for a 6th time, we have to push on and hopefully win the Premier League title and do well in the Champions League again next year, or try and win the FA Cup. I wouldn't mind because we need trophies. Any trophy will make me happy. We won the European Cup. This is the biggest one of them all. But we can win everything. We can win all the trophies. As I said, this is probably one of the hardest to win, the European Cup, because you play the biggest teams in Europe, the best teams in Europe. So domestically, we should be winning more. We should be winning more trophies, more cups, and more titles, league titles. It's all about ambition. It depends what FSG do. If they put the money there, which they have money now, because Liverpool won the European Cup, and from all the TV deals and the sponsorship deals and everything else, there's massive money coming into Liverpool now. Every player is going to want to play for Liverpool in European football. It's all about the ambition. It's all about going out and acquiring the player early. Don't leave it until the middle of the summer, because by then they could have signed for other teams. They could have made pre-agreements. So we have to do it now. After the Champions League final, we have to try and do it now in a couple of weeks. And buy those 2 or 3 players that we need, basically, in certain positions in the team. And next year will be even harder to beat. We'll be even better team, even stronger team than we are this year. So that's about it, Liverpool fans. Thank you very much for watching the video. Take care of yourselves. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Make your comments in the comment section below, and I'll be very happy to reply to any questions that you have or any comments that you make. And yeah, we can have a conversation. We can talk about all the issues to do with Liverpool Football Club. But what a season we've had! What a massive success! To think that in August I had no idea that we would do so well in the league and also to win the Champions League. I had no idea that Liverpool would be this good this season. And that's it. Hopefully next year we do it. We win the Premier League. And we take care of that ghost as well from our past. That nightmare that we've had for 30 years, basically, 29, 30 years. We put that to bed as well. We finish it off. And we'll be the happiest fans in the world. We are the happiest fans in the world right now. The amount of Liverpool fans that you see in the world celebrating Liverpool winning the European Cup is unprecedented. I've never seen a team with so many fans in the world. It's massive. Liverpool Football Club is massive everywhere around the world. And just winning the European Cup has shown us that again. Once again, we already knew, but when the success comes, then you will see Liverpool. How massive a club we are, how big we are compared to the other teams in the league. And we have to make the most of this time now and win every competition going, because in a couple of years it could all change. If we lose players and the manager decides to leave or decides to finish his football career, then you never know the next era what's going to happen, what kind of manager we're going to get, which players are going to remain, which players are going to end up going to other teams. If they've played for Liverpool and they want to change, they want to go somewhere else, you never know with football players. So this is the time. We have to push on. And I'm not criticising. I'm very happy with what's happened this year. But we can do better. We can do even better. Look at Man City. They didn't deserve to win 3 trophies, but they somehow done it. So if they can do it with that team, we're better than them. We're European royalty. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world. We probably are the biggest club in the world at the moment. We've always been probably the biggest club in the world, one of the biggest in the world. But because of years of not challenging for the title, not winning the league title, our name has disappeared a bit, in the upper echelons of football. Liverpool have been forgotten about. But now we have a massive opportunity to take, everything, to sweep the ball, to take all the trophies, all the cups. And we have to do that by winning the Community Shield. Don't be telling me that it's not important, Liverpool fans. Every trophy that you win, even at the beginning of the season, gives you confidence. Makes you even more better as a team. It builds confidence. It builds unity in the team. And it makes you like a family, And you just want to go out and play for each other, Play your best football. Win every trophy going. This is what we have to strive to be. We have to be the best. Because we were the best Liverpool Football Club. And we still are the best. We won the European Cup. It's no mean feat for any team. If you ask City now, they would have bit your hand off. They would have thrown the Premier League away to win this trophy. They would have paid all the money in the world to take this trophy. And they know it, their fan base. So we've done it, Liverpool. We've done it. We've achieved number 6, the European Cup. And next year I want the Premier League. I want the FA Cup. I want the League Cup. I want every trophy. The World Club Championship. Every trophy that is available, we should be going to win it. The European Super Cup. So that's it, fellow Reds. Have a good summer. Take care of yourselves. Nice to speak to you again about the match and about everything concerning Liverpool Football Club. It's been a very hectic season for us, a very successful season. And hope to see you at the beginning of the 19-20 season. And I think the fixtures for the new season are released on the 16th of June. So hopefully we get a favourable draw. We get a favourable set of fixtures at the beginning of the season, and we can pick up the results again, win the games, go to the top of the league, and carry on from there and see what happens. Hopefully we can add another 2 or 3 players to the team, and we will be flying in the air. We'll be the best team in the world probably. That's it, Liverpool fans. See you later. Have a good summer. Enjoy yourselves. But in August, the work starts again. We need to be ready for it because City aren't going anywhere. And all the other teams, all the other big teams will probably strengthen as well. They'll probably get players in. So we need to be serious. We need to make sure that we do our homework again. And we're ready for the season, the upcoming season. Because everybody will want to beat Liverpool. After winning the European Cup, we're enemy number 1 now on the list. Everyone wants to beat us. And they will be after us next season, even more than this season. So the hate towards us next year from other fan bases will be intensified. It will be even more than it was this season because of our successes and what we've won this year. So that's it, Liverpool fans. See you later. Have a good summer. And I'm out, basically. Hopefully see you in August. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.